carefully do you watch tonight?
Yeah, I'll be watching. For sure.
Do you have expectations? Do you have expectations?
I'm a fan at this point. I just kind of want to see what happens.
What is this time for you guys right now as you await?
Yeah, we just had another good practice today. Just continuing to try to get better as a group individually, and just take advantage of these moments, but really making the most out of the practice time today.
You're at this a long time now. What kind of things do you continue to learn? You guys are always learning, and maybe particularly about this group that you kind of are getting used to each other going forward.
Yeah, I just think it's there's different ways that you're gonna win games, and I think that's the one thing that you continue to learn in this league. There's not like a certain way that you do things, and I think the strength of our team is to have the ability to do different things defensively, on offense if we need to, and we have a lot of guys that can do different things, and our versatility, I think, is a strength of ours.
Jason was talking after last game about the perception that teams can out-tough you guys. That's not that easy.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I mean, he was saying that that's out there, and just being the ladder team isn't like an example of being tough. How have you seen this team's toughness grow over time, and what is toughness as a team to you?
Yeah, I mean, I just just think that we're consistent, with our approach. We really, try to do the things that we need to do to win, and I just think our play kind of speaks for itself. All year we've been consistent defensively, defending, rebounding, on offense, trying to execute the best that we can. So, I think, just our work kind of speaks for itself.
How much has that been a message from Joe? I know he's talked a lot about physicality and, rebounding, defense, whatever.
I mean, that's nothing. That's something that, we've talked about at the beginning of the year, and we've been doing it all year. So there's nothing there.
Now, what changes the maturity level of your team?
Excuse me?
Coach mentioned the maturity level of your team after the series with Miami. Have you noticed that this year particularly?
Yeah, I was very proud of the group of, how focused we were on the challenge and understanding that we needed to handle Game 5 at home properly. And from the beginning of the game and throughout, we were able to maintain that. And that shows maturity, that shows growth. The year before, we had an opportunity against the Hawks to do the same thing, and we couldn't get it done. So I am encouraged to see that, and we also have to continue to have that mindset, especially with this next challenge, this next round coming up.
Now, what changes about your game planning and your guys' preparation with KP on the sidelines?
I just think that just probably other guys are going to get opportunities to contribute and impact, but the things that we do essentially are kind of the same, I would say. Our offense, the things that we're running, the things that we're doing, yeah.
And I wanted to ask you this: your son, when you see him on the sidelines of playoff games, him getting to experience this now for a few years in a row, how awesome is it to look over on the sideline after you score or you get a rebound or something to see his kid?
Yeah, it's just great that he's old enough and he's able to be around it now, and he feels it, and he looks at the atmosphere, and for me, especially to be able to share it with him and just with my family in general, my wife, my girls, just for them to go through this process with me is pretty cool.
How does that big change for you in the sense of Kristaps potentially starting, but just overall in terms of your role, how much does that change going into the series, knowing that Kristaps will be available at least for Game 1 and probably the freshman game?
My approach kind of remains the same. I want to make sure that defensively I'm solid. I'm giving support to the group, that I'm doing the things that I need to do on that end. My job doesn't change. And then on offense, continuing to stay ready in whatever I need to do. And for me, it's just all about continuing to impact winning. So it doesn't change. It's just that now that I'll be starting, and now I'm expecting, some of our guys, whether it's Luke, whether it's Nimi, whether it's Xavier, to step up and be able to play minutes for us when their number's called. And, that's something that I'm excited for those guys and for that opportunity.
Have you been preparing for that possibility?
Excuse me?
Have you been preparing for that possibility, knowing that more could be put on?
Like preparing.
Physically, but also mentally, and just knowing that anything can happen.
No, I mean, I think that from experience, over the years, you would like for everything to go super smooth, and that's not always the case. But my preparation, just doesn't change. Every day, I feel like I'm very consistent in my approach and the things that I need to do. And I just think now that, maybe more will be asked of me, but I'm still going about it the same way. So I don't think there's anything that I really need to alter or do. We've been very consistent with our work, all season, and I feel like it's not going to be any different now. So.
Kevin Love, after Game 5, Kevin, you guys had a conversation. Obviously, you both been in the league 15 years. It's kind of OG to OG. Are guys around the league saying, "Now go get that ring"? Like, are they some of the guys, your peers, kind of rooting for you here? And what does that mean when a guy comes over and says, "Go get it"?
Yeah, I mean, it's a sign of respect, and I have a lot of respect for Kevin. A lot of great years in the league, and what he's been able to do, and he was one of those first guys that really just changed the game with his picking and popping and stretching the defense out. So it's just a moment there of respect, acknowledgement, and he was wishing me well, and it's something I respect. He's a very high class type of athlete, type of guy. So.
What does it mean for guys who just literally rooting for you? I mean,
it's special. It's special. I mean, I feel like I've found myself like that in the past. Rooting for guys, but for me, it means a lot. It means a lot. I think that there's very few of us that are like older. Some of the older guys in the league. So I feel like when we see other guys kind of coming through, like. You want them to do well. You want them to be able to continue to play and play at a high level. That's something that I've always admired and respected. Not only in our sport, but when I look at other sports too. Like that's something that makes me happy.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks. All right.